What's up, everybody? Aloha Tuesday. Aloha Tuesday. Toast to all of you with the Village Cup water. Thanks for joining us tonight. First, let me apologize for the erratic schedule that we've been having. Simply because of the campaign season, man. I ain't gonna lie. We've just been all over this island doing meet and greets. Hey, Pops, all the way from Seattle. Thanks for joining us tonight, Dad. Yeah, so I want to apologize. We've just been trying to get to every single community as possible to hear from everyone and let them know what my ideas are. My ideas really haven't changed over the last 20 years. It's just still working on issues that haven't been resolved. So I just wanted to apologize for all of you. I know a lot of you guys plan your evenings around the show, and I appreciate that so much. But we just had to do. We only have one more left tomorrow night in Lihui. So if you guys are in the Lihui area, what's up, Wally, Susan, Patty? Aloha, everybody. Thanks for joining. Yeah, if you're in Lihui tomorrow night, I know we got the YWCA. Thanks, Wally. If you're in Lihui, the YWCA has the family abuse or man, why am I having a brain fart? The vigil, the candlelight vigil for victims of family abuse, sexual abuse, and that's one that I don't miss. I'll stop by early, but our meet and greet is in Lihui Neighborhood Center at 6:30. So if you're in the area, go stop by, say hello, and it is our last one, and then we're on the home stretch election in a couple of weeks. Ballots will be here by the end of the week. You should be getting them. They're being mailed out on Kauai. They're being mailed out tomorrow. So most of you will get them on. Some of you get them on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But most important thing, folks, vote. Whether you vote for me or not, of course, I would like you to if you're on Kauai. But even if you don't, it's important for you to vote. You guys know, as we got closer to the election, we try to get on as many candidates as possible to try to just inform and educate. That's always the purpose of the show. And we put the call out there. Very few have responded. It's kind of surprising. I mean, I jump at every opportunity out there to get in front of people. That's kind of what campaigning is, and you gotta get to meet people and talk to them. Very few people have taken the offer. So tonight we have Anna Mo Dez. She's running for state senate here on Kauai, and she will be coming on at 7 o'clock. She'll be here shortly. On Thursday night we'll have Duke Iona and Junior Tupai, and they will be on sharing their collective platform on how they plan to turn the state around. Um, so I hope you guys can join us. I post the thing up on my page. I'll put it up again tonight, but please share it. We want as many people watching these candidates uh, so they can be informed voters. For too long, for way too long. Elections here and in most places are popularity contests, right? And who can put out the most ads, and it's frustrating because they're not really investigating the candidates and platforms and plans, and that's what I'm interested in. I honestly don't care what party they belong to. I don't care what race, sex, creed. It doesn't matter to me. It's who is the best person for the job? Who is willing to stand up and fight for the local people of Hawaii? And I'm hoping that we can find out. All I told Duke's camp was that we want to talk about the issues that the both candidates, Josh Green and Duke, differ. I want to see what the differences are, and I want to see how Duke plans to again, like I said, turn the state around. To me, that's critical. We are struggling from our nation down to our states to our counties. We gotta start thinking for about our local residents and what we can do to benefit our local residents. I understand all the business and economic drivers, but at the end of the day, we vote for people that speak for us, that represent us. We don't just vote for people to give them a job. No, we want them to speak for us, and that's what I hope to bring on Thursday. So that's the top two offices in the state, governor, lieutenant governor, and I'm starting to see the commercials and all the promises, and I'm not into that. I want to see concrete plans and uh, a concrete platform that we can hold these guys accountable to. So I'm looking forward to Thursday. Again, I'll post the who absconded with the Hawaiian Snickers man. Charlie is just, Charlie at the airport is his day starts very early and his nights end at very late. And I miss him. Let me tell you, and we'll get him back on at some point. But yeah, it's nothing negative. A lot of people think, oh, Mel and Charlie must have fight. No, no, no. We're brothers to the end, guys. We are brothers to the end. A lot of people don't know how Charlie and I met. We met. I was in the police force, and after the hurricane, um, the county required all of the officers involved, which was kind of interesting because we as officers we see a lot of crazy things. We see a lot of bad things. I started when I was very young. I was 19 years old, and I got to see some horrific things in my early developing years. And but after the hurricane, the county felt that we needed to talk to somebody, a shrink. So they flew down this shrink. He was a expert in PTSD and all of these kinds of things, and they appointed a statewide liaison from the police ranks, uh, and that was Charlie. Charlie was with the Maui Police Department at the time. So Charlie got appointed to this guy, Dr. Sword, who was a psychologist or psychiatrist. I'm not sure. I can't remember. And Charlie accompanied this guy as he evaluated every single officer. That's how I met Charlie. He was very, uh, Charlie's a great guy till today. I mean, that guy has a heart of gold, and we remained friends ever since then. And that was a hurricane. That was many, many, many years ago. So when he moved to Kauai, it was kind of cool. We got to reunite and hang out. And when the pandemic hit, and we all know the story of his brother. It was only natural that I asked him to join me on the show. This show has been going on way before the pandemic. It just wasn't as popular at the time. But we brought Charlie on, obviously. Well, you guys know the story, right? And so yeah, I miss him dearly. But he's busy. He's busy as a bee, and we'll get him on. We'll get him on at some point. So again, tonight we get Anna Mo Dez running for state senate. Let me just say this, guys. I read a lot of comments in social media, and people very critical of candidates uh, at all levels. But let me just say this: unless you have run for political office, public office, and put your name out there, put your family out in front of everybody, uh, it's very hard to appreciate what candidates go through. And I give every single candidate utmost respect for every single one of them for putting their name in the hat and trying to make a difference. Not just complaining and whining, but putting their name out, putting their reputation out. Politicians, elected officials, government leaders, they live in fish bowls. Everybody's watching everything you do. And I know this. I've been doing this for a long time, and at first it's difficult. Man, you just get used to it, and it becomes a way of life. But it's not just a way of life for the candidate or the elected official. It's a way of life for their families, their spouses, their kids. And unfortunately, I didn't really understand that. I mean, my kids, had to live with their dad being initially a cop, and then was hardly around, and then a politician who was hardly around, and worrying about everybody else's problems. And it was just when my son and I had a father son chat while he was an adult. It's just a couple of years ago, where I really finally understood that I didn't do it right. I didn't do it right, and a lot of it was because of my choice of occupations. So I tell all the young dads today, man, like the football field, just going to football practices and football games ain't enough. That's not enough. You gotta love them 24/7, and you got to not just say it, but you gotta hang out with them, and that's what politics many times take dads or moms away from that so important part of growing up. And I it's water under the bridge, right? You cannot unring the bell. But I tell you, you know how most people say, if I got to do it all over again, I'd do it. Probably wouldn't. Not at the level that I was. I think if I knew then what I know now, I would have done it all differently. I really would. And live and learn. Right now, I can try teach the younger dads and moms that, hey, you know, you gotta be with them. You gotta coach them and teach them, not just at the fields. That's not enough. And so, yeah, if you get any young dads, moms out there, Wally, I know, man, you spend a lot of quality time with your kids. I see it. And that's how it should be. Because one day they grow up and they move to Oregon because they can't make it here, and then you double pissed off because you should have done more, and now you feel so helpless because there's nothing here for them. And uh, we talk to them a lot, and they're very, very successful. Take them to church, absolutely. And a lot of people don't like. I'll tell you this quick story, Larry. I was invited one year to speak at the mayor's prayer luncheon at Gaylord's or Kilohana, whatever it's called. And I sat in there like nervous. Like, what am I going to say? This is a bunch of God-fearing people. And, I'm not the most religious guy. I do believe in God. We did go to church, believe it or not. I went to several churches. We moved around. But we found a church that we liked, and it was at I was going to say Home Depot, at New Hope in Kapa'a with Pastor Matt Higa. He's been on our show. And I was sitting there and I'm listening to all these high end speakers, and I had my speech all written out. And when I got up to the stage, it was like throw the speech away. I forget how many minutes they gave me, but I said, "Listen, guys, I think the Holy Spirit just came over me and told me throw that away, speak from your heart." And I said, "Hey, folks, I had a prepared speech, but I'm not going to use it. This is all I'm going to say, and I know I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Think about when things started to go sideways in our world, in our country. Think back to when things started to go south. It started to go south when we took the church out of the schools. When we took Jesus out of our schools, things went to hell. I don't want to get into that debate with anybody. That's just how I feel. And I say how I feel. And I honestly believe when we started to take things out, when we started to take God out of our Pledge of Allegiance, or take the Pledge of Allegiance out altogether, when we started taking all of these things out, uh, things started to go south. And that's all I said. And I left the stage. And that's all I was moved to say. And I said it. And who knows? I'm sure in that venue, it was much appreciated. But I know in many others, it's not. So it is what it is. Believe what you want. All I'm saying is that if not, explain it. I mean, we've had Democrats, Republicans in offices throughout history. Sometimes they work together, sometimes they don't. It's a total mess right now. But it was not always that way. It's never always that way. I remember a time where they actually did work together for the good of all people. Now it's just a mess, and it's all about money and stuff. So anyway, like I said, we got Anna Mo Dez tonight, and we're gonna bring her on right now. What's up?
Aloha.
What's How are you,
Nice to
Anna?
see you, Mel. So
Oh, good.
good. Thank you for doing this for real. Well done, and it's much appreciated.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us tonight, Anna. I'm sure you've seen a couple of our shows. It's very informal. Very, we try to have
Mhm.
some fun, but the whole focus is to inform and educate our viewers, especially now in this political season. Like I said earlier, we put the offer out to many candidates. I mean, we put them all out, and very few have taken the opportunity, and that's fine too. But tonight's your night. We want to hear more about Anna Mo. We want to learn about Anna. We want to get to know you, and then obviously share with our viewers why you believe you should be our next state senator. So I'm going to turn it over to you real quick, and you share your story, introduce yourself, and we'll go from there.
Thank you. The same. Thank you for having an opportunity for my candidates. I want to take advantage and step forward. It's very rare that this election season it's not as highlighted all of the different candidates that are stepping. Realizing that something really does need to change because we're going to be discussing the same exact issues come next election. Only in very much see that things are getting at a much rapid pace than once upon. Um, I, I do know you from started to pay attention and
Anna, I'm gonna
go
interrupt you real
before.
quick.
Sure,
Anna, are you using Safari or are you using Chrome on your?
I went. I logged in first by Chrome, and then it said, "No, you got to logged in by Safari." Is it not working?
Yeah,
Should
well,
I
it's
try
it's
the Chrome
skipping,
again?
and yeah, try the Chrome because it's skipping, and I really want the people to get a real feel for you.
Okay,
So
again
yeah, if you
then.
don't mind, just try go back on Chrome, please. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank
Sorry about that, guys. I just want to make sure we get a good connection. Apologize, and I think you guys would like that too. Uh, for some reason, the software that I use, which is called Restream, which allows me to broadcast across all the platforms simultaneously, it has a glitch with Safari, and it works really well with Chrome and Firefox. So bear with us. I'm not sure why she couldn't get on with Chrome, but uh, we try to let all of our guests know. Please do Chrome or Firefox, and it's been working really, really well. Zoom is much more user friendly, um, but I cannot broadcast across all of the platforms at the same time. So uh, she's running against Senate President Kochi. So that it's we'll talk about that later, but it's obviously a very difficult race. But again, I give everyone credit that's going to run, put out a good, clean campaign, and let the voters decide. And you know, that's what we try to do here on this show is try to make sure everyone has the opportunity. And I tell our viewers, I mean, I tell our guests, don't let the numbers of the live viewers discourage you because it's the post live views that really blow up. And here we go. Let's try this again. Keep our fingers crossed. Okay, try it again, Anna.
you. Is it a little bit better this time?
It's doing the same
No.
thing. Yeah.
Unfortunate. I'm
It,
not sure how to do it through Chrome. It's not let through your Safari browser, and it asks me to click through the Safari browser. It's
oh,
not.
really? Okay.
Yeah, it's very strange.
I think
How bad is it?
you gotta download the Chrome app onto your phone. Um,
Yeah, it's on. It's
okay. All right.
so
Well,
the browser.
we'll do our best. Okay.
How
It's
bad
it's
is it?
just it's I mean it's tolerable. You just get you to talk slow, and then we should be okay.
All right. So
So getting back, so yeah, who is Anna Mo?
well, Mel, I have the wonderful opportunity that I know well throughout these years, 5 years now. 2017 is when you of the council. It's when I first appeared before all of you guys, and I've been ever since. My main focus, as you've heard many times, is to field balance the economic disparity that is caused by because it is not a practice of capitalism. It is there's a rule in capitalism off exploitation. That is totalitarianism. We've been misled a bit as to what the actual solution for the issue is. So I see, and what I've seen now 15 years being on the paying attention, not really talking about it for 10 years. I serve and live my life, raise my children, but at a certain point, I felt this calling to engage in my civic, and I'm fortunate enough to receive a great education of my parents, and I was able to have economics classes as part of them, and government classes, civics classes, and there's classes, and I just feel that it is imperative that it is part of every curriculum growing up. We have to understand the value here. We have been given a republic as long as we hold. It's up to all of us to step forward and make sure that pass that down to each generation. Every generation gets in, and I feel that right now in this current turmoil of political ambiance, let's say, it's one of these, and we just have to focus on what we stand for, what we believe, mute out the rest of the noise that's trying to distract us. Because of your show, there was a time where there was collaboration, ideas on the table for us to discuss to an agreement, if you will. Not that everybody is going to see eye to eye on time, but for the huge issues, it takes time to discuss the different perspectives of how we live, and everybody has the freedom to have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So it is not a territory of the United States. It is a state. Of this decision, I believe it was a very, very positive constitution that defends our God-given. Let's make that very clear. This constitution does not give us these rights, has given us these rights, and this is for everyone. But we are in a constitution that defends them. As long as we defend the Constitution, symbiotic relationship, and one that can never be taken lightly. So I urge everyone really look at the truth of the situation. The current government has been Democrat since the inception of statehood. There's a stronghold there. I'm not looking at any individual as that wants anything bad for anyone. It's just the nature. Absolute power corrupts, and there is this misstep between and the process of actually representing representing the people, the priorities of the people. It's been a continuation of appeasing to the special interests, and there needs to be a stop and an of how we operate on Kauai, in Hawaii, and change it for the betterment of everyone, including this. No one wants to elevate themselves by running over anyone because of the nature of the situation. The current government has made us bad people. And I believe if those of us that are truly stepping forward with calling to do better for everyone, the viewpoint, what America is, what we stand for, can shift. And us capitalists are seeming to be unethical, be any further from the truth. Capitalism is about everyone being able to, from their sweat of their brow, their own innovation, inspiration, come up from wherever you started. And there is not to opportunities here. As we know, our children need to leave education. Those very lucky are able to come back and have careers. Look at it from the outside. If you're not going to go into the hospitality or work for the government, you're very limited. Okay, Mel.
No, Anna. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna end the stream because it's really choppy, and I don't want to. It happened with Augie T, and it really was unable to. So we're gonna end the stream. I'm gonna try this on Facebook Live. So I'll go to Facebook Live using the Facebook app, and then I'll invite you on, and let's see. I think that'll be a better way. So, folks, hang tight and give me about 2 minutes.
I can come back another day if it's not going to work out. But I appreciate.
Yeah, I think it'll work on the Facebook. It just won't be on all the other platforms, but that's fine. We just want to make sure our Facebook viewers can watch. So, guys, give us about a couple minutes. Just watch for me to go back on live on Facebook, and then Anna, I will be able to. Once I go live, I can invite you on as a guest, and then we'll do it that way. All right, guys. So, give us a couple minutes. We'll see you in a few. Aloha.